we go.
Hello, world. Welcome to Shindigs, a podcast dedicated to the ones who reach for the stars. This episode of Shindigs is sponsored by Unlimited Solutions. Unlimited Solutions. Live life unlimited. Today, I want to introduce a very, very talented guest. Very inspiring guest, to tell you the truth. TJ, what's up?
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Pleasure to have you, TJ.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
TJ, thank
That
you
was-
so much for making time.
Of course, man. I really appreciate this.
No, man, my pleasure. And the reason I say making time is because you did our work for the logo, which is an absolutely amazing logo.
Thank you.
Even the Max noticed that you did a little bit of shading and everything.
Oh man, the lighting and everything, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's
Had a
freaking
little
awesome.
shadow effect and
Yeah,
whatnot.
good stuff, man.
He
Thanks.
caught that. You see, I'm looking at it as a customer point of view, and I'm looking at it like, holy shit, that's awesome. That's freaking that sticks out. He looks at it in the photography point of view, so he sees where the extra detail went.
Right.
I know.
Okay. You have
Sometimes
a
we
little.
don't get to enjoy what it is. It's just like, oh, look at the way he used this. Instead
Right.
of just be
right.
like, oh, this is badass. All right, great.
And you see me and myself as a customer, I'm looking at him like, holy shit, that's fucking tight.
No,
Thank
it's
you,
definitely
guys.
awesome,
Thank
man.
you.
We definitely didn't think about that approach. You have a unique approach to logo
Thank you.
and
Thank
to
you.
advertising, and seems like you know what you're doing.
A little bit. You have a little.
You're only growing, you know. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
me too. But if I was doing what you're doing at your age,
Right.
I'd be somewhere else, right?
How old are you,
You're
TJ?
definitely talented, man.
I'm 22. I'll be 23 in September.
See, we're already claiming you're 23. Wow.
Yeah.
So the bar has gone even higher now. Damn. Well, hey, TJ, like I said, thank you for making the time, especially with all that you have going on with your T-shirts, your logo design, being 22. You got
Right,
friends
right.
out right now. Kevin's out on a boat right now.
Right.
Kicking
Right.
it.
Oh yeah. He's out fishing. I'm
He's
sure.
loving it.
Actually,
Yours was
speaking
awesome.
about that, man, it's talents like that. I want to go back to when you do your work. All right, let's say when you do one of your logos with such a criticizing eye like the one you have for yourself, like because you know you are your own worst critic. You is that something that you just sit down, whip up right away, or
Some of it definitely comes to me. A lot of my art I definitely like pull from other people's just like inspiration. I'll look on Instagram or I'll look up different things on Google or whatnot and just get an idea from that and kind of maybe tweak it or use that as an aspect of what I'm creating. Kind of get a lot of inspiration from a lot of other things, but sometimes it just kind of flows out of me. I think with y'all's, I had ended up buying like a record that day, and that kind of was like inspired by that. And then like
Nice.
I
There
did
you go.
pull a little, like if you look at the Joe Rogan logo, he's got some little lightning bolts on there, and I kind of threw a little bit of those on there, but like super subtle
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
I know it looked extremely unique, man. That was awesome.
I
Thank
like
you,
the
thank you.
record accent to it
Yeah.
because if you look behind me, I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
You got a nice one. Heck yeah.
and I'm all about the sound, and we talked about it on Sinister's podcast. The sound that you get from a record.
Oh, right.
Which
right.
record did you buy? Which one did you purchase not too long ago?
It was actually one for my girlfriend. It was the American Beauty, Grateful Dead. I was looking
Oh,
for
okay,
another
nice.
one, but they didn't have it, and he
So,
actually ordered it for me, which was.
Is
pretty
that
sick.
what a
That's
vinyl
awesome.
is? A record?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
I
pretty
hear
much.
people. I got some vinyls in my collection of vinyls.
Right.
Not everybody's digital format, podcast. What is all that?
Streaming.
Yeah, streaming all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Brain fart.
So
Crazy the quality difference.
Oh, it's-
Oh, man.
Really
now
big.
what like for example, let's say like a new band wants to come out with a record. That's still possible, correct? Those things are still.
Yeah, I was in there flipping through them, and I saw some like Revolution ones that like were recent. Like I guess that's a thing. I would think it'd be kind of nostalgic to keep doing it as like an artist. You know what I mean?
A lot of people are doing it. I have some records over here from like Chris Dave, which is one of the
Okay, nice.
newer drummer. He's been around for a while, forever, but he's just one of the newer cats that are releasing music, and they're all releasing vinyls. Like
Right.
Marcus King and all them.
Right, and I think they understand too, like
Yeah.
the quality of that too. So
Yeah,
that's kind of
Well, TJ, you're very master of quality because I'm going
Detail.
exactly detail and quality.
I'm still learning for sure, for sure.
Explain me this. What's third iration?
Okay.
Am I saying it correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So that one kind of just came to me. I was kind of sitting and thinking on it a couple days after I got the idea to like make T-shirts. But it was kind of a play off of third eye. But iration is like a Jamaican slang for creation, I guess. But it also pertains to like the person creating and like the creation itself, like the oneness of it, I
The
guess.
passion.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess, and like anyone else involved or whatever. I don't know the technical definition, but something along the
It's
lines.
not really technical. It's very and I wouldn't say so much spiritual, but it's very homey. What you just explained to me, you took a lot of pride in that, which also means you take a lot of pride in searching for your product because you have a very unique product material.
For sure, yeah. I definitely try to search out like for all organic type stuff because I think that's important. If we're gonna keep making and producing things, they should be like sustainable and not harm the earth.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my shirts actually. This is it's 70% organic bamboo and then 30% organic cotton. And you can feel it if you want, since it's pretty soft.
Whoa! Explain to me one thing, because I had an Element shirt back in the day that was bamboo. It was
Okay.
and man, I wore that shirt
Right.
out. Oh man, I put it through the wash because I was wearing it all the time, sweating in it. I'm like, man, this is the only shirt that doesn't get sweat stains. This is the only shirt that doesn't kind of stank after I
Right.
skate all day on it.
Right.
And you know, excuse my French, but the fucker never faded.
Right. They're great quality. It's pretty crazy the plant because I guess it's actually a grass, so it grows pretty quick. They can harvest bamboo pretty fast. Actually, I bought a bamboo plant for my backyard just to kind of see and
Be one with your cousin.
right. And
Be one with your product.
Exactly, and it's grown like a weed. It's crazy. But it's also like UV resistant. And yeah, thermal regulating, so it'll keep you cool and like wick the sweat off you, I guess, and keep you warm. If it's cold, it will keep you insulated.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the 75% cotton or the 75% bamboo,
70%.
70% bamboo, 30% cotton. Why is that? Why that blend?
I'm not too sure exactly the blend. I don't know if it makes for just a better quality
Believe
feel.
so. It's probably strength.
Maybe that as well. I get them from Ono. That's the merchant that I get it from.
It's a beautiful shirt, man. It's
Thank
a
you.
beautiful feeling shirt.
Thank you. And then I print the designs myself, and they're water-based ink. A lot of like big printers are plastisol, which is like a plastic additive that they use in the base of their ink. So it's a little less eco-friendly, and this dyes the fabric and then evaporates out. So it's a little more eco-friendly, and the base is water.
So with it being water, I'm sure it's a lot less cost as well.
Yeah, definitely,
Right
for sure.
So it's got all types of benefits.
Right, there's definitely a give and a take for the plastisol stuff. That's actually I work at a company that makes T-shirts, and that's what they use. And with that, you can let the ink sit on the screen, and then you can go to lunch, come back, and then keep doing what you're doing, and everything be fine. But with the water-based ink, you have to clean it off immediately after you're done. Keep like reapplying it because it will dry up pretty quick because the water from it will evaporate. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and once it evaporates, it's
Right, it can damage the screen. It can kind of set
So
in the
wait,
stencil.
hold on 1 second. You said you work at a printing place.
Yeah, I work at a print shop as well.
Inspiration story.
Wow, man.
Well, kind of a little bit. I started working at a sign print shop. My friend helped me get the job, and then started working there for, say, almost 2 years. And then in between that, because I was just getting kind of more and more creative through that, I was doing my own type of stuff, and I was looking at kind of different things I could put my art on. And T-shirt just one day kind of clicked and made sense, and felt like if I'm gonna do it, I don't want to just buy the shirts from.
You know what you just said really had a full revolution because you said I just want things to put my art on. Your sticker, your black and sticker with all the triangles. I've seen that thing everywhere. I've seen it everywhere. I'm like, you see stuff like that everywhere. And now seeing the actual connection of it, like
Okay.
who it belongs to and what it meaning, and I'm
Nice.
like, wow. So that's the power of a sticker.
Right.
Because I've been seeing a sticker, and I'm just saying me for myself. There's multiple eyes that haven't seen this sticker.
Right.
And now, but when they can't put 2 and 2, it's just a visual.
Right.
But once you have that visual, and you're like, oh wait, this is TJ's work. This is Third Eye Ration.
Right. It's a little logo kind of brand
I
connection.
never got close enough to look at the name either. But like I said, that sticker is kind of everywhere. I look a lot of places.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if you went out
Thanks.
tagging. I'm just kidding.
Couple places. Give some to Taco Shack.
But wait, so hold on. So you got this job going on. Third Eye Ration. Is that something you collab with somebody?
No, it's just me personally. I make all the art for it. It's all just kind of my personal stuff.
TJ, what? So you got you work. You got a regular job.
Yeah, I have a 9 to 5. Well, 8 to 5.
Third Eye Ration is completely all you.
Yeah.
The ideas, everything.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
You also have your design company. 22 years old, TJ?
Yes.
If this is an inspiration,
Thank
if
you.
this isn't reaching for the stars.
making me feel
I
big
mean,
right
I mean, no. Okay. It's making you feel some type of way. Now, do you feel like that's something that you got to prove to somebody, or is this just you? That's TJ.
It's just me trying to find kind of avenues to or outlets to express myself, I guess, and get it out there.
And knowing in this generation, there's a lot of them, and you're using all of them wisely.
I'm trying to, anyways.
You are.
Is this level of graphic design and what you're doing kind of a passion, or is it just a thing, like you said, just an avenue?
It's definitely a passion for sure. I'm art, yeah.
Because I believe that every action should have
Right.
should have a vision if you're gonna get into something. I
Right.
feel like you're extremely talented at it, so
There's definitely intention behind it for
There you
sure,
go.
for
Oh.
sure.
Holy
But-
crap, dude! But no, but don't let that passion fuel burn out, man. Because
Thank you.
okay,
Yeah,
TJ,
no,
I
it's-
definitely want to. Before I forget, dude, I want to take my hat off to you right now because. Thank you, exactly. I remember being 22. Max and I, we were hustling. No, we had our fun, and I'm sure TJ, you have fun yourself.
Yeah.
But we
try to,
hustle,
for
and
sure.
I always look, and I always
you got to. You have
bro,
to.
and
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I always looked at the other 22-year-olds like, man, come on, why aren't you on my level? Or am I getting too far ahead? Do you ever question yourself? Am I just too getting like comparing yourself to somebody, or do you don't even compare?
Yeah,
You're
I feel
just-
like that's a natural kind of natural human thing that we do,
Gets to
but
a point, yeah.
but
Do
I
you
don't know,
think it
definitely
comes
try
from
to.
your family, somebody very inspiring that's just a hustler like this?
Well, my dad's definitely very creative and artistic. He's not so much of a hustler in that aspect, but he's definitely a hustler in what he does in his job. And he owns a construction company, and he does that full time. But he's super artsy. He's done a bunch of portraits of pro surfers like Kelly Slater, Tom Curran. And he's got all of them signed too as well.
Painted portraits or
Just hand drawn sketches, almost like that one behind you over there.
TJ,
Wow.
Yeah.
wow.
But
So-
more like that kind of more a
Pencil,
little
ink?
realistic. Just pencil pretty
Oh,
much.
that is badass.
Yeah, just pencil sketches.
That's
yeah.
Master's dad behind you.
Yeah,
Or he
that-
drew that.
My dad
What?
does acrylic and a lot of that different water based, and he gets
What?
he delves
Holy
into a lot
crap,
of
TJ.
things.
See, man, that's what
That's badass.
that's
Yeah,
why I
man.
love about this generation. You guys are mixing talent, like you said, your dad already has the artistic, and then you're using your talent and also the new wave of what it is marketing, what it is using the social media instead of browsing and just checking out what your neighbor's doing, what your buddy's doing. You're making it to go to work. You're putting that to work, TJ.
Right, trying
So
to.
that's very admirable on your behalf for your generation, because you're using all your tools, you're using all your outlets.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fucking kick ass.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a little hard to keep up and like the ever changing.
You ever get overwhelmed? You feel
Not a little bit, not so much. Because I have a passion here. Sorry, let me turn my phone off
you're good,
so
you're
it doesn't
good.
keep making noise here.
so. How do you balance that passion? Which one do you go for? Always the one that pays the bills.
Well, yeah, definitely. my job first, for sure. But I've been learning a lot there, and I've only been there for 2 months. And it's a bigger place, and they have a full art department, and I've been like in between that and doing other things there. But that's been really nice, and I've been growing with that and doing things that I haven't done before. I usually work in like Illustrator, which is a program of like Adobe. But there they usually do a lot of their art in Photoshop, so I've been kind of diving more in that realm and creating things in there, and it's pretty interesting, and it's kind of opened up a whole little world. But it's definitely nice when you're getting paid to learn, for at least a little bit. That's what it feels like.
Apprentice,
I had that experience in Miami when I went down there to go learn how to properly shoot video.
Nice.
And started doing bigger weddings and stuff like that.
Right.
And at the same time, you were getting paid to learn.
Right. Straight up.
Sometimes you have to return some of that money because the thing didn't, the project didn't turn out as good as it was.
Okay.
But that was just another stepping stone to the
Straight
future,
up. Straight up.
So that's
Another
how I saw it.
learning curve.
Yeah, good stuff.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Now,
Okay.
before you got this job, you had a little bit of you already had your shirt line. Because this has been going on you had your shirt line for how long? Now, what is it an apparel line? Well, I don't want to call it the wrong thing.
It started out as an apparel line, but I've been recently opening up into different kind of outlets and different things I could put my art on as well. But mainly apparels, and mainly trying to like keep the sustainable, organic type vibe. I've been opening up into like stickers, like you were saying, poster prints, buttons, and then also like some digital downloads for other like graphic artists to use. So like I'll make like sacred geometry tools and whatnot, and they can download that and use that and incorporate that into their art and whatnot.
And you said sacred geometry?
Sacred
Is that
geometry.
what's on your shirt?
Yeah.
Can you say that again for me?
Sacred geometry.
Wow, what does that mean? I never.
It's pretty much all geometry is sacred geometry if you look at it like that, essentially. But I don't know. I guess a good way to explain it is that they're just tools for us to learn, I guess.
Yeah.
So you had geometry in school, and kind of learn things through that. But I guess sacred geometry is more like symmetrical, things that occur naturally in nature, usually.
What do they call the golden ratio?
The golden ratio. Yeah, there's a bunch of other names for it, like the phi ratio, the golden rule, things like that. But Fibonacci, yeah, that's the big one. Yep.
Okay. So maybe this is actually a huge explanation too. You live in, you know a lot about this. It's actually reflecting on your lifestyle. You're using your tools. You're using your plugs, your outlets.
Right.
That's pretty cool. And how that came hand in hand. Is that something?
Guess I never really thought of it that way.
Like I said, I'm an observer. I'm observing TJ, man. And like I said, if I was TJ at 22, man, 2019,
True.
pulling up on the Raptor already.
Thank you guys.
I kind of want to get your permission on this real quick. I had the phone there to go Instagram live.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
You can do it.
You know how to do it, and all you gotta do is swipe.
Okay.
But yeah, no. The reason we want to do Instagram live. The reason that we want to do Instagram live is because it's a new month. We did the plugs through our Instagram, through Master's Instagram.
Okay.
My mom actually did some of the highest and most views on her Facebook advertising. Every time she posted something, whatever she posted, it got a lot of views. It got a lot of hits
Nice.
right away. So we're very I'm actually very humbled to say this around you because being with you, I feel like I'm gonna get some really good feedback on this. But we're new to this marketing range.
Okay.
We're new to like working off our own things. I kind of see a little idea. Same thing. I go to Google. I'll do a little YouTube search.
Right.
But this whole Instagram thing, I wanted to see it because you won't be able to hear it. Like I said, this is gonna be the legit version of it. Eventually, that like goes away, right? Like once we're done with the Instagram story, it's not saved, right?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It stays on stories for what?
Yeah. Probably for 24 hours like it does usually. But like I said,
Someone's got it there.
the reason I want to do that is because I want all of our followers on Instagram to start checking us out on YouTube. To start checking out the
Right,
damn
right.
YouTube.
It's
Visit
another tool
us.
for sure. For
Check
sure.
out the damn YouTube. The YouTube freaking, it's cool, man. And the thing is, they are long, TJ, and you're very familiar with podcasts. There's no short, there's no such thing as a good 20-minute podcast.
Right, right.
There's no such thing as a good. That's
Right.
an interview. That's an in and out interview. That guy had to
Right.
go on break or something like that.
Right.
So I feel like us taking our time and our dedication and our passion to this, it's very we put a lot of work in it, and not just that, but I want to show our guests like yourself the appreciation that we have for you guys, because you're coming here to kind of tell your story on how a lot of 22-year-olds, even 29-year-olds, even 30-year-olds should be hustling, and you see it as a passion. I know there's a hustle behind it, and you see it yourself. You're just you're on top of your game, that you don't need that wording, you don't need that credit.
Well, another thing too that I've come to realize, to connect with what you're saying, is that at 22 it's not easy to find a passion.
Right.
And so that is awesome that you've been able to find that, because then that gives you the focus to be able to move forward.
Right.
I always wanted to become a professional surfer and whatnot, but that was so far fetched. So in a way, so it kind of it's good to find a passion at a young age.
Right.
And
Straight
you
up.
have, so
Straight up.
and you're talented at it. So
Yeah, I
that
definitely.
shows. It shows.
Thank you. I definitely feel like, society can put a little pressure on you, like you were saying, for sure. And felt like in my younger years there was definitely more pressure to kind of find that passion, especially getting out of school and going through all that. More pressure, pressure from my parents and kind of
Yourself, probably.
family, peers.
Self-added pressure.
Definitely. Like you
Did
said,
have a
good.
separation from, like, did your parents wanted you to go to school, and then you had a passion, you didn't really want to go to school, you kind of maybe wanted to get to work on it? Is there any of that happening?
Kind of, like I was already kind of getting to work on, like I started doing the screen print thing in my room at my house, so like so they kind of saw everything that was going on, but they definitely wanted me to go to school and whatnot, and I didn't end up doing that, but I feel like I picked up a lot through what I did, and I've done like a lot of different graphic design courses here and there. So I've been trying to kind of like hone in on that. But yeah,
I feel like when your time is come to go sit down and behind the notebook and paper and do this, you're gonna do this out of your own will. Like, you're gonna be like, okay, my next level, my next evolution of graphic design, this is what it takes.
Exactly. I'm not opposed to it at all. I just feel like it's not the right time thing for me.
That might show you that if when you don't feel it, that might show you the black end of it, the bad end of it. It'll show you the end that you're like, oh, wait, hold on, let me
Right. Plus, I don't know. I feel like I heard a good saying that's like it was relating it to school. That's like, if you don't have a map before you go into the woods, then
You're gonna get lost.
Yeah, you're gonna get lost. Where you don't know where you're going, and I feel like a lot of people, or at least a lot of my peers, were kind of just doing it out of
50-60%
habit, or what their family was saying, or
The next
whatnot.
step,
And
the
it's
next
like,
step, you get out somewhere, boom.
right.
You get out of here, you go there. You get it.
Right.
You also said nowadays, like me getting into music, I never went to school for music, and I'd like to eventually,
Right.
But I feel like the same thing you just said. I don't understand enough. Maybe I don't know enough, and I don't think I'm ready for it. So, and another thing you said is courses. There are actual courses out there to get you sort of ready for what it is that you want to do.
There's so many tools on the internet.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. And I think experience is the best teacher, and you're definitely doing that as well. We're trying to do it as much as we can. I feel like, for sure, but. Yeah.
And with all this work, you do a lot of your research, your own self research. You know everything that I feel like you purchase something, you purchase it with the right mind of for example, you use water-based paint for the environment.
Right.
You're saying something about organic bamboo. That's something for
Right.
the environment as well. I mean, all
Definitely
all this
good
stuff
things.
has great intention. So what are the intentions of Third Iteration? Take your time.
That's a good one.
Take your time.
So it's kind of more an outlet for me, and I'm just trying to kind of set an example for other people that like they don't necessarily have to do what I'm doing, but that you can express yourself sustainably, not do it with, making harmful products or selling harmful products or promoting those, and you can eventually hopefully make a living off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't got to that point yet, but it's it's stepping stones for sure.
Well, it says,
But-
you know,
Baby
you got.
steps if
Right.
But
Those work
TJ,
too.
if you never created those stepping stones, where do you step? What's your next step?
Right.
You-
Exactly.
You're gonna fumble all over. That's,
No, we were looking through your website too, man.
Thanks.
It's freaking tight, man. It's
Thanks. Thank
awesome.
you.
I didn't even
Thank
know
you.
Third Aeration was a thing, and I've known you for a good while because you did the Psychedelic Monks logo as well. So,
Right.
So it's like I've known about you for a while, but I didn't know Third Aeration was this other thing that you've been doing
Right.
for a while. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
and that actually
Yeah.
segued right into my next. No, I didn't even say in a question, but your portfolio
Okay.
is completely outstanding, man.
Thanks, man.
Holy
Thanks.
crap.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks. I haven't updated in a little
Very
bit.
good.
Not just clean. No. That explains itself. The cleanliness, the detail to your page. But what I mean about your portfolio is the caliber and the different categories of customers that you have, TJ.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
have some heavy hitters. You got some local hitters.
Right.
Yeah.
Try to keep it
Is this word of mouth
a
or
broad
what's going on
spectrum.
here?
Yeah, mainly word of mouth. I feel like that's where I get most of the clients, but I try to push things on social media and whatnot too. But like I said, I'm still new to all that as well, and still trying to figure all that out.
Mm-hmm.
But
If somebody was to look at what I looked at today, you're not new to this, but
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you're new to this. So
right, but
good stuff.
it's definitely it's always changing. They're always
Yes.
updating apps and allowing you to do different things or not doing different things. And there's like I guess a big thing on like Facebook banning certain things and Instagram banning certain things or whatnot. But yeah, so when you're using those tools, you're kind of at the mercy of
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
But so
At least they let you kind of get creative.
Right.
And get something started.
right, it definitely great tools for sure. But
what's one of the designs, one of the works, one of the logos that you've done for a company that, because I know when you do something like this, you do it with such a passion that you actually evolve a connection with this logo. Have you created one that you're like that you already had a customer for, and at the end of it you're like, man, this thing is really good. It's like a puppy. You're like, you got a bunch of puppies. You don't want to let them. You have to let them go to make the money, but
not so much that, because a lot of the times I that's the purpose of my art is it is outsourced for them. So a lot of times it's not something I would even create for myself.
Okay,
essentially, you know
right
what I mean?
on.
I definitely try to put
so
my
the
spin
customers
on it.
give you the idea.
Right.
Right
Most
on.
of the time. But I'll definitely throw my ideas in it as I'm creating
Yeah,
and
if
give
they
my
go to
own
you,
little
they're
style.
expecting your look and your style exactly.
Right. Kind of like a little tattoo artist or something, you know.
Exactly.
Would you say that the one you did for Shindigs was that memorable one?
I know. I can't wait. This is awesome. This is a good surprise.
man.
Yeah, whenever.
Now, what's one of the designs that obviously as somebody as busy as yourself, I'm sure you got a deadline on a lot of this work. What's one of the designs that you were just tight on time, you whipped it up, you got it with your professional look and your professional intentions, but in that back of your mind, you're like, man, I don't know if this is the actual, and then when the customers saw it, they were just, you have a few of those?
That are just like stoked on it, blown, yeah.
And you were kind of like, oh, man.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's some stuff that hasn't been my best work, and they were totally stoked on it, which is great. I'm still stoked when they're stoked, of course.
Good pressure off.
Yeah, but then there's been, the opposite, where I've created designs where I thought that they would go for sure, and they were like, oh no, I like this one. And it's like, really? Well, whatever, all right.
You never know. It's that random, huh?
Right,
How do you
exactly.
deal with that one?
It's like, I mean, you got to give them what they want, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. That one was kind of like my baby out of it, like you were saying. So it's like, kind of a little hurt for sure. But it's all good.
When you put all that time and you were actually really proud of something, and the guy's like, well, I was missing this thing, and I'm like, man, I wasn't missing
Right.
anything.
Or can you just change this, make that different color? It's like, whatever.
I'm glad I didn't give you any grief. I didn't give you any
No,
grief.
it's all good. I like it because a lot of the times too. Another aspect is that it kind of forces you to create and do different things that you wouldn't normally do. You know, so
Yes.
it's more
Get you
experience.
out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Now, when
That's
you we were talking earlier about some some platforms we're working on in design. I'm sure there's still Paint on computers, right? Like there's still the program Paint, correct?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I don't
Did
know if
you
they've
ever
been
use it?
updating
Is that
that.
something you ever used ever?
I definitely used it at one point.
And if you did, what Windows was it? Was it Windows XP? Windows?
Man, I was so young, I can't even remember. That's how old it is.
Oh, that used to be me. I literally that was the only thing I knew how to do on a computer. Because I'm talking about before internet. I'm talking
Right.
about before internet, there was no internet, so it was either
Okay.
play poker, Paint, and
Solitaire.
then solitary. And I couldn't do any of those games. But Paint, I actually started making my own little designs. They were actually called Noise.
Nice.
and
You had a whole theme
Oh,
going
man,
and
I had a
everything?
whole album
Nice.
of the characters. I had
What?
rustic character, metal character, they're all little
What?
skater.
That's
it was,
badass.
But it was all designed through a Windows 99 Paint.
Dude, that's gotta give you some credit because that's really hard to do, right
Yeah, you
there.
just draw with the mouse.
Right.
Little ball on the bottom of the mouse.
Oh,
The
man.
spray paint touches and all that.
Oh yeah, the spray paint. I remember that one.
No, but that to me was but like I said, that was the only thing to do. And when I first started doing that, those designs, there was a gentleman, and holy, do you see this is where my generation kind of needed this a little bit. I remember the gentleman. Man, do I remember his name? But he was a family friend, and he saw this work I was doing. He told me, and I was in 5th grade, and he told me, he's like, hey man, you should do some T-shirts and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah. Never really looked at it as because back then there wasn't that, you post stuff. There wasn't MySpace. There wasn't, so it's not like, oh man, I did this, let me post it on here and see who, like,
Right,
that's just
right.
me looking at it, liking it, people
Right.
around me liking it. So I feel like going back again to you using the tools of, you can draw something, you can post it out there, you can stream it out there, you can have it been viewed, and the talent comes from within.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
that's a huge plus on your generation. And like I said, not everybody's on this boat that you are.
Well,
Right, right.
Even back when we were that age, even Facebook, we didn't get on Facebook. Personally,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
speaking, I didn't get on Facebook, but MySpace. Until
Okay.
way like 3-4 years after it had even come out. So
Right.
it's like,
I was
weren't
too
really
young. I
into
wasn't
those
even allowed to
things.
have one. But I snuck one for I don't know what grade. I think I was in 5th grade, somewhere around there. No, 6th grade, something like that. Just getting into middle school.
That's how we did it. I had a sneak an AIM. And
An email, the email accounts.
No, the chat.
Yeah.
Where you
The-
could chat with all your friends.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man, I remember.
Good old days.
Oh, dude, I had the. Yeah, no, I had the. For some reason, my mom had a friend who had a kid my age. He was completely restricted from Grand Theft Auto, music with curse words. So my mom thought that's how you're supposed to do things. And she's like, "No, Christian." And I'm like, "Wait, no, that's not how you are. Come on now."
Telling me to be a kid a little bit.
Well, it's playing a little rougher stuff, but
Shoot some people.
But no, man. So a lot has going on. Has been going on since when? Like, when did this website get started? Because you're 22.
I actually just recently launched the Third Iration website. But I've had an Etsy account for a little bit, and then kind of been posting stuff on Instagram for even longer than that. Just kind of my designs before I even was able to put them on shirts. And then my other website, my Sizemore Graphics, the graphic design one, I've had that one out for, I would say, maybe a little over a year now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
And
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
and
It's
all
an
this
extensive portfolio you have.
huge,
Thank you.
Very good.
different categories as well.
Like you were saying,
Thank you.
different categories as well. And in all this, like I said, was there somebody who did you have that gentleman like I did who said, hey, you know, you should make a T-shirt? When was the first thing you made that somebody said, hey, you know, make a little business out of it? Was it your parents with the shirts?
No, actually, kind of, more pressure on myself, kind of, at
Nice.
at the age of coming out of high school, and everyone's trying to, figure out what they want to do
Nice,
and
TJ.
that sort of thing. And I don't know, I was just kind of really doing some self-reflecting and trying to figure, if I want to do something, I want to do something artsy, artistic, and creative, and kind of keep that going, because I feel like that's important. And then also, unfortunately, in today's world, you got to make money. So figure out how to make money doing that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how it came. Kind of more for myself, but I was definitely really inspired by a good friend of mine, Eric, and he actually got me my first job doing Sign of the Times, which is like a sign shop, and I was doing graphic design there and whatnot. And then he actually kind of showed me, and he's like seen my potential the whole time. And was like, dude, you could do websites all day and whatnot, because that's kind of what he was doing, and kind of led me down that path a little bit. And I created both my websites, but he helped me and guided me and critiqued the little things and whatnot along the lines for sure. But he's definitely a big inspiration. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Eric, yep, Eric.
Shout out to Eric.
Shout out to Eric. No, you are.
Is that how you found the company that you're working with right now?
No, actually, I kind of just found them. I was looking for different jobs and different things to do, because I was kind of feeling a little stagnant where I was. It was a small T-shirt company. It was on the beach side, and I was doing pretty much everything there, from talking to clients, getting their order, and all that stuff, to doing the design, making the T-shirts, and I was their only employee, so it was just me doing the screen print. So it was definitely a learning experience for sure.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing as much design as I wanted to do. It was more people coming in with logos and saying, or like small businesses and being like, hey, I want my logo on a shirt. So they already knew what they wanted. It was more so just kind of doing it and going through the process. And trying to stick with like the creative aspect and whatnot. I was trying to kind of look for different avenues to do that as well. And
that's a good way to see what the customer wants, because you know what they're always doing is
right.
Gonna say, okay, you kind of, it seems like the customer always likes basic. As an artistic and as an artist, you want to do boom.
Right,
the
right.
customer just wants pencil.
Well, yeah, simple is the key,
Simplicity, yeah.
For sure, especially with like logo designs, because you want it to be kind of easy to read, everything legible and whatnot. So there's kind of a certain like lens you got to look through all that stuff with, and pretty much the same with anything, just kind of different. The T-shirts, I'm just looking through a different lens, but I'm able to do a little bit more art, but I'm still having to keep in mind of how to separate the colors when I'm done with it, and different aspects, and to know that I got to make it to where it can go on a T-shirt. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Now I know you make your website really easy to shop, like literally click away, start shopping away. You also have a very organic website, very good touch to the eye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there TJ Sizemore? Sizemore.
Yes.
That's one of them. Or
it's
Sizemore Graphics.
Sizemore Graphics,
Yeah.
And then Third Iration is the T-shirt one.
And all those, I mean, when I looked at them, I kind of looked at them, with an eye of like, okay, let's see what he's got going on. I'm like, holy crap.
Thank you.
This is what he's got going on. Yeah. Holy! And I actually got very inspired by your website. You have a very in touch.
Thank you.
With the viewer, with the person, with the customer.
Thank you. Which one in particular?
Third Iration.
Third Iration.
And
okay.
then
yeah.
Thank you.
Full
and then
informative and.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
yeah,
the logo one, it's very
content.
business. Like, I'm looking for work. It's not stuff here to kind of throw my eye away. It's
Right.
kind of like, okay, this is what I need. Very
Right.
simple. You know, it's like you're looking at a quick catalog.
Right. I think that whole website is
I
just
love
one
that.
page, I believe.
love that. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. That's all
Yeah.
you need.
Yep. Yep.
Simple and clean and nice.
Thank you.
Again, I wanna thank you so much for making the time, TJ, for making the time just from, because I know out of any time that you have off, you want to chill with you got a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to chill with your lady. You want
Right,
to,
right.
you want to be 22. So for you to come out
Thank you, man.
and
I really
definitely,
appreciate that. I
man,
really
definitely
appreciate
showing
that.
the love, definitely making the time in the day, because this is something that we scheduled. So making the time and just
Before we leave, though,
oh my God, are we ready?
Oh yeah.
Are we ready?
I think we.
Okay, how do we end this?
That's
So-
it. That's facing us. Here, you guys, you open it up. So you can go.
Oh man. Thank you, TJ. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, dude. This
I really
is awesome.
appreciate this. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
TJ work. Oh my God. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, guys. Look at this. Look at
Boom, baby. There we go. I was just about to ask. Where can we find? Is that where we can find all your shirts for sale? Is Third Iration, right?
Third Iration. Yep.
All right, perfect. So that's.
Yep. When you hit shop, it'll just bring you all this stuff.
Oh, dude,
You
that's
can
sick.
trip with us. Oh man.
And there's a couple stickers in there, I believe.
Dude, that's awesome. Oh, TJ, you went there, man. Oh my God, dude. This is the one I'm talking about.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that is. Sick.
Really?
This is
Because I just made that
everywhere.
one. What? Hell yeah, that's awesome.
This is on cars, I'm telling you, when I
What?
see it, it always
That's
catches
awesome.
my eye, but I never read it because I'm just looking through. Now that I like